Greetings, it's Crawford Ashley, you're the spiritual boxer, and I'm talking about boxing. I was going to talk about my managers, but I'm going to leave that for another day because that's a bit long. I've been talking to Biggin and was talking about Usyk and AJ, and do I think him going to America looking for a new trainer would be any good for him? And I was just thinking back to my career and coming up and coming through, and it seems like the basics with AJ is wrong. So wherever he goes, he's got to get back to the basics. That's the first thing he needs to do, is go straight back to the basics, because everything's built off the basics. If the basics aren't there, you can't get to that next level which you want to get to. So you want to go back and work on your basics, and the basics are completely seem to be lost now, you know. And there's a lot to do with using the mind and controlling the mind and the thoughts and different aspects. You're talking about, you're in a fight. What do you do to win the fight? Champions do everything and anything to win the fight. And it's like, I was talking to Kay, my partner, and I told her about what Usyk says about AJ being a superstar. He is a superstar, but Usyk's just a boxer. And that's what I find kind of like fascinating nowadays. Back in the 90s, it was just coming on the media. You had to become a bit of a media star with the likes of Frank Bruno and Gary Mason and that. And there was there was the Eubankses, the Bens, there was media sensations. But now it's like, you've got YouTube sensations. They don't put the work in the gym. And I never used to like press conferences. I used to think they were just a waste of space, because the people that were there, most of them didn't have a clue about boxing. They were just there for the tabloid newspapers wanting something to kick off at the press conferences or the weigh-ins and that. And it seemed like most boxers, fighters have fallen into that, causing rumpuses at the weigh-ins, and there's no need for that. That's not boxing. Boxing is about honour, respect, dedication to your craft, putting the work in, and then on fight night, showing everybody what you've learned. But now it seems about mouthing off and trash talking and talking shit and doing all these fancy pads and fancy dance stuff and not putting in the actual work. You know, I'm in the gym for 2 or 3 hours. I've got to rest for the next 4 or 5 hours before I can go to the gym again. I can't be going home and doing media sensation and doing photo shoots and posing for this and posing for that. You know, where's your energy? It's in the gym. You know what I mean? That's where I used to live all mine, is in the gym. Most people don't. They walk out the gym like they're just going to it. Yeah. It's fascinating, these boxing nowadays. And I just want to bring it back to where it was. You know, full of that respect and that honour and that humbleness. And it's like, it surprises me when people realise I'm a boxer, because most people don't. And one of the best compliments I got was from a lady in the Fort Greene, my local, and she was a pacifist, an old hippie, but she was great. And I've known her for about 4 or 5 years, And I just won the British title, and I walked into the pub and she come over and she gave me a big hug and she went, "I never knew you was a boxer." And that was the best compliment ever. For me anyway, to others maybe not. Boxing was something I loved, it was my passion, it was basically my life. But there was also another side of me. The side just wants to have a laugh, you know. It's great. All I want to do is have a laugh. Even though this face don't look like it, it does. It just wants to have a laugh. Anyway, it's Sunday morning and I was just having a chat about that. I hope you've enjoyed it. And like I said, I'll do one with my managers, a little taster. I had 15 fights with my first manager. I started in 1987 and finished in 1990. And my last fight for them was against Brian Schumacher. And I got £1,000 for it and they took off 35%. And I'll tell you the story, and that's when I never boxed for him again. And then I had Barry Earns for one fight with Darky Smith. And then I went to Ireland with Barney Eastwood. Now, that's bittersweet. Barney Eastwood is the bitter part, and the people I met there were the sweet part. Met some great people there, learned a lot. And then I left Eastwood and went with Frank Warren. Wow, out of the frying pan into the fire. That was that one. That's going to be an interesting talk. And then, yeah, Frank Warren, I had a conversation with myself for about 3.5 hours going to see him. And it took me that long that I never hit him. Yeah, I argued with myself. I wanted to smash his face in, man. So bad. Going down to see him. Anyway, that's for that one. And then another one where I met one of the most important people in my life and one of the best people in boxing I ever met was Bob Padgett. And then he introduced me to another good guy, Tony Breen. And finished my career with Tony. And yeah. And I'd like to say to managers, when you say to about boxers, you want a loyal boxer, you want someone loyal, get a dog. Managers, it works both ways. Because every manager I've had has written me off, except for Tony Breen, and I never even had a contract with him. I had an handshake with him and we're still friends to this day. Loyalty runs both ways, you know. And all you other managers, I hope you're happy when the story comes out, because you know something, I only tell the truth. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, leave a comment please, because it helps out a lot with the YouTube algorithms and that. And it knows that I'm not wasting my time just sat here just chatting nonsense to people. But am I talking to people or am I talking to myself? Because most of the time I'm talking to myself anyway. So I might as well put it on camera and see what happens. Like I said, if you can't be yourself, just be brilliant. See ya.